Good morning, fellows. I'm setting new directions for my businesses. My goal is to stop doing offline personal training, come online, do personal training. My eventual goal is to move all of my attention into online personal training. So I feel like I have more to offer in that area. That means hopefully I'll one day will be able to sell my business online to someone who wants to take over. I just had a good talk with Jovina this morning, about our direction that we're both going in. I recorded our conversation a little bit so I could go back and play it over. And she has some really good ideas. She was saying, you're helping these guys who don't really listen to you. And it's true, I get frustrated. I came to this business with a lot of passion, and I was following my heart. Unfortunately, the internet is a different world. It's a different place. You meet people online that really you don't want to bring into your life, pretty much. And that's kind of causing a lot of problems. Right now, I've got my camera set up because I'm going to start doing some. I'm trying to get back into teaching some type of aerobics. If I can do just 5 minutes, I've got a lot of creativity to offer. I can teach other instructors how to become better instructors. I can teach them how to do choreography. In fact, I've got a lot of ideas in that area that I can help other instructors with. So that's why the camera is set up in this direction. I actually have my tripod on top of the table, and it's pointing downward so you can see my feet and stuff like that. So I'm looking at opening up new areas of business, and unfortunately that means I'm gonna have to spend less time in this community. Just again retreating back to just my forum and doing webinars just for my forum people, which is fine. I do appreciate Jonathan. I do appreciate your donations that you've been making. That's really meant a lot to me. When someone gives back, like Jonathan has, that really means a lot to me, fellas. All you guys who have donated to me, that really has touched my heart. A lot of people think I'm just this black, old, angry black guy, and they don't see who I really am. I'm more like my father, who was a man of his heart. Unfortunately, people took advantage of him. And I tried to temper myself to have more of my mom, who's mean and stingy and, but more focused, and combine the two together. And that's basically what I am. I do come from the heart, but I also know when to pull back. And it's time to pull back and start focusing in other directions. I have so much to offer out there in the world, especially in the area of fitness, to other fitness instructors. Well, hello, buddy. I have my front door open. Hold on. Don't need that shit. There you go. Okay, where was I? I was talking about my direction I'm heading. In this business, I've got a lot of good information to help you guys with, and I've been doing that for the last 2001. It's the last 16 plus years, and Jovina was, explaining to me, you keep doing these 4-hour calls, and you're not getting anything for it. These 3-hour videos, and you're not getting anything for it. And I say, well, I get a couple of donations from, like people like Jonathan and stuff like that, but she's right. I got to become more businesslike if I'm going to make it in this world. So I need to go back to start doing more webinars where I'm actually teaching. And I need to weed out the anal sex guys, people who want to talk about anal sex or weird shit. Sorry, Michael Nolan, you got to go, man. You're not good for my channel here, because that's all you talk about. Is your weird fetish shit. I feel sorry for the Japanese guy that he really does believe that listening to me made his girlfriend cheat on him. And I shouldn't have actually, been so... I was upset with them that he would actually think that. And I reacted poorly. So to him, I apologize. I couldn't believe that you would actually think something like that. Whatever your name was, Alpha something or other. It just blew my mind. How could someone think that by telling a girl what to do, she's going to cheat on you? No. I don't know where you got that concept. I guess you listen to my videos. I tell you, you guys got to start like men. Start like men. He didn't start like a man, obviously. He's a little Japanese guy. I guess he had a white girlfriend, and she got bored with him. Now, I did this, and I shouldn't have, did the finger thing, but that's one of the reasons why that was bad. I'm only human. The real reason why she was cheating was other reasons, but I get tired of dealing with stuff like that. It's not. I have so much good information to give, so much quality information to teach you guys on how to get a better life. As I was telling Jovina, when you met me, I was a player. I dated lots of women. I had fun. I loved my life, and that's what I wanted you guys to experience. And she was explaining to me, a lot of guys don't have the courage to live their lives like that. Something I've been struggling with understanding. Those that have the courage have done it. Those that don't have the courage, they just still watch my shows. I ran into a guy's comment, a guy named Chris Z, and I know the guy. His name was Chris Z, and I googled ZenMac because I got that email from the guy Arthur Gordon yesterday, and I googled ZenMac. And down at the bottom was something from So Suave from 2007. And I guess I must have just flipped over, had started the payment thing, and people were having trouble understanding what was going on. Some guy was trying to get in, Belgrade player or something like that was trying to get in. He couldn't get in. I had an admin for that. And then it was someone said, I never saw this stuff, by the way. Player Supreme, please contact me. Way back in 2007. And this Chris Z, they were, talking about him So Suave, as they usually do. And this is someone that I knew, that I've talked to, that I've helped with this game. And he said, Player Supreme gives good advice. He's a good man. But sometimes he's like a 10-year-old with a Hitler thing. I don't remember what it said. Something about Hitler. And that's why I left. And he's that white fragility thing. He's a Caucasian guy. That's why I've tried to soften myself up. I realize, you white guys, you're very sensitive. And like I explained, black guys, we're used to guys coming down on them. And I try to explain to people, I'm an African-American man, I'm black. And I talk like a black man. Like I would talk to my sons. Actually, I'm nicer to you guys than I am my own sons. Even the brothers. So I've tried to switch up my communication style because I realize there is a thing called white fragility. You guys who are white, you're fragile. You have fragile egos. You're not used to people coming down, especially an African American guy. So I recognize that. So I've tried to change it over the years since 2007. But he was, I read that and realized, I know this guy. He's actually said, we've communicated, smile on my face, then thinking these undergrade thoughts about me. Although he did say, I'm a good man and I have good information. So it made me think, maybe only black guys should listen to me. I started thinking that, and I was thinking, no, I have good information to share with a lot of people. It's just that a lot of people don't appreciate it. And maybe I should go to another niche, because I'm really good at training. I'm really good at teaching classes. As I said, that's why my tripod's on top of the table, because I did a minute and 58 seconds before my lungs failed me of aerobics yesterday. I just had to figure out how to get my software recording equipment to make sure that I'm always on beat, but when I played it back, the sound went over this way and the video went over that way. I need to get software that can sync the two up so that what it's recording is actually there. I've had that problem before with my ab workouts. I'm on a good laptop. It's got 20 gigs, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? Let me give you an example. Let's see. It's like, I teach guys to feel the beat of music. I live in the beats. And that shit came off. I'm like, what the fuck? What am I looking for? You guys hear that music? I can feel the beats. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. See all the accents? So I'm never off beat, and I got to fix this problem if I'm going to start teaching, some type of aerobics classes. And maybe I look for better software. Five, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. March 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, walk forward. Up, 2, 3, 4, back, 2, 3, and 4. So I got to fix this problem if I'm going to get into that business and get it like my ab workout stuff that I do. So this show is about, me changing directions. I've got to change direction in order to survive. Jovina's having to dip into her money to, pay my shit this month. But I don't want to have to do that shit. They played a song in my prompt, Dominic Says, last year. Cool. At least I'm not so old school music. You talking about the second song, Dominic? He goes, 25 says, I think it's better to be harsh. We as men need to toughen up. Pussy men, you're black. Think of the white guys that come online. Pussy men is part of why these dudes are struggling. If they don't understand, maybe they shouldn't be here. Yeah. That's what I would normally think. But if I'm going to make it, I have to market myself to a vast majority of people, which I haven't done. Because then I have to deal with more fragility. And maybe I need to change myself. Either I've got to change myself and become more vanilla, or I need to go into a different business. And that's what I'm going to decide this weekend. I'm already deciding to go to a different business, to let you guys know. I've given you guys a lot of good advice over the years. I've been trying to help you guys get better lives. But it is a business, and I got to run things like a business. I have to think of my own future because I'm going on 60. And I've got the potential to make it big if I start marketing myself in whatever I do. Dominic says, moving to Memphis, I guess I'm going to be training stripper then? Huh? You must be on the phone, Dominic. Try to make sure your sentences are complete sentences so I can read them. And when I read them, they come out sounding clear and clean so I don't look like an idiot, please. I'm going to be training stripper then. Are you the dancer? There's one brother that's like me, he got into dance, and he's a dancer. And maybe saying I'm going to be training strippers then. Don't know. I don't know how you can train strippers. I wish somebody would train them. Their dance does nothing for me. You know, making the butt cheeks flap, big deal. I don't understand the mentality of guys that go to strip clubs either. That's some simp shit. That's some weak shit. I would never. I went to one I think 3 times at the most. And never again. No, becoming a personal trainer. What's the stripper thing got? What's the stripper thing? No, I'm becoming a personal trainer. Let me say that I love helping people. That's why I started teaching aerobics. I love teaching. I love choreographing. I love teaching, period. I love to teach. That's what I was born to do, was teach. We all have a certain reason why we're born. I call it your purpose in life. I was born to teach. So I love teaching fitness. I love training. That's part of teaching. You want to love it before you go into it. Don't go into it just so you can become good with women. A lot of guys, they want to follow my footsteps. Like my son, he's a personal trainer. He sucks. My son, Christopher. He's all about himself. He's as bad as dancers. I used to study dance. I would take dance workshops. And I swear to God, these women come teach the workshop. If there's a mirror there, let me show you. Okay, let's say I'm the instructor and the camera's a mirror, and there's the class down here. They're like this. They finally stay in the mirror, and we're back there teaching the class. They're all about themselves. And that's something I've always hated. People that are about themselves that go into a business. You want to do it because you really want to help people. It's not about the money you make. I wish I could train more. Because of my illness, I can't train anymore. I have 6 clients. That's it. So I have to do my training online. Dominic, I got into fitness when I was 15. Were you fat before that, Dominic? You're skinny. Why did you get into fitness? See, I had a love for fitness also. I started fitness when I was like your age also, 15. I developed my own running program. 16, my little brother had a my little brother, I think it was my little brother's or my older brother, had a paper route, and my mom made us help him with it. My little brother and I, so I started jogging to do his section of this paper route that he had. So I developed my own running program. Then I finished off with a run. You know, I lived in a place called Rancho Cordova, so I would run the circuit of Rancho Cordova before going to high school every day. But I was older than 15. I was in high school. If you get a chance to become a trainer and you really like to help people, then go do it. Go get your training. There's online training you can take, online tests you can do. One of the best ways to market yourself is to give lectures. A lot of trainers like to use Instagram and all this stuff. Nah, that's also good, but do lectures. Go to where the women go. You said for football, but then I started to really get into it. Good. So you're into your body. There are people that you go to fitness because they got into it. They're into their body. My son Christopher, the same way. I wish he actually cared more about his people, and that's what I want to make sure that you want to have that heart for the business, for helping people before you go into that. January said, I got an offer last year to become a personal trainer. I think I might get into that field. Can you post some links, Supreme, on the online stuff? No, I can't. I don't know about the online stuff. Go find that information yourself. Do the work yourself. Okay? I know there are online organizations that you can get certification through. That's about all I know of it. I got my certification a long time ago. Okay? Dupree, damn, your house look old, Supreme. Well, thank you for the compliment. It is an old house. Right, sure. Hey, I remember one time I fucked a girl after I dropped her, and I swear she smelled different and felt repulsed. It was as if her pussy pH, it does change during sex. Balance changed since we fucked. Yes, I have experienced that. I experienced that. I told you about the time this one chick, she had sex in 7 years. And I finally caught the bitch at the club. She had been in it for a few times before. She was one that I said she had to wear some type of diaphragm because she'd have orgasms. I got the bitch in my house, put the condom on, stuck it in. When I pulled it out, that shit smelled awful. Her pH changed that fast. 25 Jai, has anyone else besides yourself benefit from Toastmasters that you know of? Do you know who Anthony Robbins is? I'll just mention him. In talking to Jovina, we were talking about how, I tell you guys something, and she was saying, all I see is it goes in one ear out the other. And she mentioned Toastmasters. How many guys have actually joined Toastmasters? 25 Jai is actually looking for people that have benefited. My word should have been enough to have gotten you in there, 25 Jai. Right here, I suspected whatever dudes she was fucking since me changed her pH. She also might have an STD. Okay? If it smelled really awful, that's a sign of an STD. If it just smells, turns you off a little bit, definitely pH. Michael B. P.S. Do you have any suggestions for someone who had gained and lost it and trying to build it back up? Like having only one relationship after a while? Yeah, I've got all kinds of suggestions. All my shows have been suggestions of what to do. Just watch my shows. If it smells like fish, if it smells like rotten fish, then it's an STD. No woman's vaginas smell like that. Some vaginas do have like a slight fishy odor. That's just her natural, could be her natural shit. Depends on how well she cleans herself. I like clean women. That's why I smell women before I even get near them. Now back to Michael B. if you truly had game, you never lose it. By the way, basically, you had a female at one time, Michael B, and I guess she dumped you, or you guys broke up, and now you're asked out and looking for some new love. Is that correct? Thick girls kind of have that. Oh, that's because they have more estrogen. It's because the estrogen, it does change their pH to where they may smell a little bit like that, Dupree. The thicker they are, the more curves they have, the more estrogen in their body. And estrogen is a hormone. Hormone smells. Dominic. Yeah, man, I want to help people. Too many people in my family have died from preventable diseases. I'm in a training course. Good. Rideshare. Aries. Hey, what qualities do you recommend looking for in a woman to settle down with? Just curious your thoughts on that. Yeah, I've shared that before. Remember I told you if she makes the bed test? Remember that? I learned that from a rich Greek guy. Because he was looking for quality, because he was a target for gold diggers. And a gold digger ain't going to get up and make the bed. So he really had it on point. Main thing, if she gets up and makes your bed the next morning, that's one you want to keep. That's why I'm here with Jovina. For that very reason right there. Although she said something to me this morning, I told her, that didn't sound good. She was worried about, her retirement. I have to take money out of her retirement. I want to be able to retire. That's, that don't sound good, Jovina. Everything you have, you should be willing to put into the pot. So I straightened her out on that one. Which she'll do anyway, but 25 job. My job consumes most of my time as well as I'm trying to build my own business. Don't doubt you. I was just wondering because different things work for different people. Your job consumes 8 hours a day. Okay. Out of a 24-hour piece of pie, you have 8 hours. What about the other hours? That's two other sets of 8. I went into the pharmacy business because I wanted to help people, but I learned that's just a one-way ticket to getting people hooked on drugs legally. You're like that other guy that comes here. He's a pharmacist, and he's making I guess like 120 grand a year, somewhere there. The J. Henry says, "I like helping people." I think the brother that's the pharmacy guy I think he's overseas right now on vacation. Dupree, is it a difference in submissiveness from overseas women and American women? I noticed from Jovina. Jovina, she came here when she was 7. All the women I've been with have been just like Jovina. Like I keep telling her, all of my women have done what you've done. It's nothing special. And more. You've seen the girl holding the sign saying Property Player Supreme? She did more. She was able to give me great massage. Jovina, because she worked at a cast company sewing. Her hands can't do it very much anymore. Plus she's older now. This woman, she had studied massage. So I used to get the best massage, the best head, however I wanted sex. And I got that from all of my females. All of my women have been submissive because a submissive woman is attracted to a dominant male. You can't flip the script and turn a dominant female into a submissive. Especially if you're a guy that's on the internet. A lot of you guys who are feminine, you're more attracted to girls who actually have more masculinity in them. Let's take, for example, the Japanese guy. I believe, if I understand this situation right, his girl has a lot of masculinity in her. She's out there, fucking other dudes and then playing him. I don't know if he's getting sex from her, or if he's just paying for shit. There was a guy that was online that came here that had a girlfriend that he never had sex with, and he was giving her money. And I often wonder if that's the same dude. And she would fuck other dudes. But whatever, obviously this guy, he's trying to be this alpha guy, calls himself alpha guy. He's not alpha. And his girl is walking all over him. I guess she uses him for money. But submissive guys attract dominant females. The rideshare. After doing the friend thing in your relationship with Jovina after all these years, are you glad you went the twin soul route versus soulmates path? Jovina's not really a twin soul. She's a woman that we fit well. We fit well together. But to be honest with you, rideshare, I do miss passion in the bedroom. I do miss, like I've said I say it almost on my podcast shows, I miss the stuff that I had with other girls. That's why I kept a back door for all that time, the Brazilian girl. And I finally, that ended. Also, I had the super submissive, the girl holding the sign. Sex with her was good. That stopped. It's just been like 5 years now, I think. And it's been a bit over a year since I got rid of the Brazilian girl. I would go for me, if I would do it over again, I would go for passion. Because that was part of my life. If I can't make passion love with someone, then I don't want to be with them. I have my sexual needs met, and I get her off, blah, blah, blah. But it's just not the same. It's never the same. Dupree, I'm not attracted to a dominant female. I don't like hearing a woman's mouth. Okay. Dominic, what crazy is 80% of the death in the U.S. could be prevented if people just eat right and exercise? I agree. Let's see. You guys are chit-chatting with each other. Cool. People always bring up Dr. Sebi. Never heard of Patrick Delves, though. Don't know who that is. Aries, are you thinking of settling down? From a business standpoint, my relationship with Jovina works. Passion brings you a lot of emotional turmoil, and that's what I wanted away from when I settled down. Junior, my little brother, died. I didn't want any emotional shit, but I miss it. It's a fun ride when you come from passion. You get two passionate people together. But I've always thought about maybe I'll develop that in Jovina, but I don't think I can. I don't think it's got to be there. And she's a passionate woman. It's just that in certain areas she's more different. In about 5 years or so, yes, I'm trying to narrow down what I should be looking for. Good. You want a woman that'll contribute to your pot, that's willing to help you out. Which you should be doing with all your females. They should be actually helping you with your whatever your business you have. Like you have a rideshare business, they should be helping you off and make cards for you. Put them to work. Best thing you do is give your girls a job. So give them a job, put them to work. Have them see which one actually goes overboard to help you succeed. And that's the one that you want to make a permanent team member, and then get rid of the rest, and then build a new team. And that way you have the best of the best, the cream of the crop. I may have to close my front door. What do your gym clients have to say about Riley's firing? I only talked to one of my clients about it. She's an older white woman, but her and I, we have a good rapport together. In fact, I'm helping her with her business, online business. She voted against Trump. You know, she's a woman. She votes Republican usually, but she couldn't vote for Trump, and she was like a woman should be, appalled at the stuff that he did, and she was glad to see him go also. So the other client of mine that her husband trains with me, he's one of those Republican types, and I whispered to her, but I didn't talk about it with her because they're the ones who gave me that Bill O'Reilly CD that's on my desk back there. I try not to talk politics when I'm doing business. With Carolyn, I know I can do that. I feel comfortable, and she's comfortable with me. In fact, she gave me her cabin to stay at for Joe and I to stay at a couple of years ago. When we stayed up outside of Reno, we were at her cabin or her house up in the mountains, and she's actually a true friend. The other client, she's a friend. I've been through. She's white. You know how with white folks, you have different levels. She's at a different level because she has things about her that, like I've said, Obama's Dick Cheney's cousin. She said, no, he's not. It took another white person for her to actually believe it. She's the type, she's kind of old-fashioned. Black folks, we're entertainers. We tap dance, we entertain her. She took my aerobics class. She took this other guy's aerobics class. That's her, and I've been her trainer for the last 17 years. And we're more of what black people make them feel like. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that right. I don't think you're old enough to understand what I'm talking about. Actually, you don't have no experience, dealing in the Caucasian world. But as you get older, you'll think about what I said about that. There are different levels. My boy Craig, he and I were like this. I could talk to him about racial shit. As this particular client, Carolyn, she's the one who told me that she saw the change in the paintings in Europe. She actually told me about that. How they whitewashed the paintings, changed the race and everything of some of those old paintings. So she understands, and she sees what's going on. I guess you would call her a conservative liberal. She's conservative, but she's also very liberal. She's very fun. She's also Gemini. She believes in making a job fun. Why go to a job you hate? That type. She likes to laugh. She likes to talk and giggle and all that stuff. She invites me over to her house all the time. And her husband, he's from Australia. He's okay, but he's at that different level. And this other woman who's at that different level, her husband is at this level way over here, because he's made some comments I had to straighten him out on. Like he said to me, he's the one that said that I don't think black guys ever had anything to complain about. And then I think I heard him say, because I think he was spying on my Facebook account. He went to the bathroom one day and said, I didn't hear what he said. I think he said a snide remark about, and blacks can be racist too. I think he said that, but I didn't hear exactly what he said. I've been wondering about this for 2 years, because he went into the bathroom, said the comment over his shoulder as he's going to the door. He listens to like those talk shows. But then the guy, I think because his wife, invited me camping. I used to go camping with this guy. So there are different levels that you keep, you have Caucasian people at. Some can be like this, and some a little bit more distance. And Carolyn, Craig were like this. Although Craig went to the other side of the fence, I could still, talking about racial problems. And he understands. He sees it. He's one of the white people. He's one of the white folks that sees the truth and knows the truth, as like Carolyn. So you're a young black man. I'm in business with white people, so I have to keep them at I keep them at different levels. There's some I know I can trust to let in, and others I know I can't trust. That's the way it is. And if you're a white person listening right now, that's the way it is for us. If you open your eyes and see the truth of how black folks are treated and how you think of black people, then you'll see why people like me, we do stuff like that. We have it at different levels. I've had, white guys from my forum come to my home. And that's what Jovina was complaining. Why would someone want to take advantage of you? You always do all this stuff for these people. Rideshare says, yeah, I think I understand. Some older whites live in a racial bubble and don't want nor care to venture out. Blue pill types. Yeah. Younger ones are just a little bit different, but not that much different. I've seen that on the internet. Like when I talk about stuff that black people accomplished, I look at the viewership and it goes down. Those are the white people that object. They don't want to hear this stuff. And I feel sorry for white guys. Everybody's talking about white folks. Always. Unfortunately, if you're white, you have a bad element of you guys are dumb people. And you got a bad element within your group. And they do bad things. We just have to face that. That's why people talk about you all the time. If your racist didn't exist, this world would be a better place. So if you want to see the world change, you got to change those people that are the racist. Don't point the finger at black people. Well, you can't. That's what starts the problem. You're not seeing the truth. You guys have the power. You own every damn thing. We don't own the corporations out there. We don't own the jobs. We don't own the McDonald's out there. If we want to get a job at McDonald's, we don't look like you. And the people that hire, they want people to look like you. So black males are the highest unemployed rate in the United States. Black males can't get jobs. And I'm so happy Bill O'Reilly is gone. They're replacing that idiot Tucker, but I think he's a little bit easier to deal with. Bill O'Reilly was a fucking liar. You guys know he lied about his correspondence shit. I was watching the videos on that last night. I'd heard this talk about it, but then I saw the evidence. All the camera people that were there when he said he grabbed the cameraman and grabbed the tape and drug him to the side. The cameraman said that never happened. The cameraman said that. The man was a fucking fraud. He was a liar. He needed to go. He's the one that caused white folks to really think badly of black people. Him and Sean Hannity. Hannity is the next one to need to go. Tucker, he's on that path. As I said, they use the Irish people in this country as the mouthpiece. Notice how they're all Irish. Tucker, Hannity, O'Reilly. I don't know why that is. Michael B., do you think most whites in the country are bigoted, especially the ones in the South? I have never been to the South, so I can't speak for the people in the South. I can only give the truth. I think I'm going to give you what this white woman named Jane Elliott said. If you've gone to high school in the United States, you came out a racist. Okay? If you're educated in the United States, you came out of that with racial views. You are actually a racist, as she said. And she was an educator. Again, I'm talking about Jane Elliott. All you gotta do is just take a moment of your time to search on YouTube for Jane Elliott. So if you're a white individual and you went to high school in the United States, go see what she says. Because she asked the question of this entire group of white audience, would you trade places with black people? Stand up. And none of them stood up. And she said, that means you know what they go through, but you do nothing about it. So all you white viewers watching me, you know what my race is going through, but you do nothing about it. But you still want my help, and I'm still helping you. Let's not go to the whole race thing, though. Dominic, no, younger whites are racist too. I realize that. I've seen it. I've seen as far after Trump got elected, preschoolers, elementary schoolers, making racial comments against blacks and Latins and Arabs. That's learned behavior. Their parents teach them that. You'll see racism on both sides. You know, liberals, they're a little more closed-mouthed about the race, a little bit underhanded. That's where I put some of the white folks I know. There might be more liberal. Actually, most of the ones I know are conservatives. They're all in business. But, like, there's one that I know. Kelly. I've exposed her to some of her racial views that she's had. She didn't realize that, you know, blacks were treated like this, were treated like that. This is going on. And she didn't know that until she talked to her relatives that are cops, how the cops treat black people. And she came back and told me that. I didn't realize that until she has cousins who are cops. And I've tried to explain things to her over the 5 years that I've known her. In the 5 years, you know, educate her a little bit. So there are liberals, and they have the racism, and there are the alt-right conservatives. You know, both spectrums will have their racist stuff, racism. You're right, Dominic. Once they... Never mind. Michael B. Yep, I think they get like that when they come from towns that are 99% white. Well, they're like that in towns that are 99% white. There's some old token Negro that, you know, works at the gas station. I remember this old coon back when I was in high school. One of my friends was bleeding, and we stopped at this gas station. This old Negro, he had blue eyes too, was complaining about his bleeding on the floor of his gas station because he worked for this white man. Old coon like that, man. Rideshare. They wonder why they're having trouble. Women. They wonder why they're having trouble. Women. Shaking my head. Who's they that you're talking about, Rideshare or Aries? 25 Jai. A lot of Arabs are racial towards blacks as well. I already knew that. The slave trade, it went to their side too, by the way. I was looking at an Arab's DNA, and African came up in his DNA. I wish more Arabs do their DNA. Some of them will have a big surprise. This guy said he was Egyptian. I'm an Egyptian. And he came up 75% Arab or Middle Eastern. He had 7% African. Even I think his girl had African too. She was white, some kind of. She had a hijab on, but she wasn't Arab. She was like some white follower of Muslim, and with him. And I look at the current Egyptians. They don't look like the way the Egyptians looked back then, because the Arabs came through and took over. So they'll call themselves Egyptian now because they're born in Egypt. So where do we draw the line? We can't say, hey, you're not Egyptian. They're born there. Dominic, yeah, I'm from up north too. So to me, saying the South is more racist is bullshit. At least people in the South tell you they're racist. Dominic also says, oh my God, there were so many coons at my school. What I can't stand are those young African Americans that totally sold us out. I saw one, he was speaking like this. He was actually on a newscast. And I posted the video on the site. Asked, is that guy gay? Rashad Johnson or something? But he's like the new I don't know if he is himself, but the blacks that speak like that. And I really think that, they wear the little glasses. And I think black people need to clean their act up. And there's some truth there, but, they set us down the drain real quick. The young ones. I was catching a train to Seattle. And there was one of those young black kids that looked like he's a white guy. Like they live on the streets or they sleep on the streets. He had a guitar, not an electric guitar, but an acoustical guitar. And his hair was nappy. He was wearing the kind of clothes you see in a white guy. The shirt that's stuck to your skin and you're skinny and, those certain cloth material they wear that sticks to their skin. They have those narrow rib cage and then the jeans. You guys know what I'm talking about. And I actually tried to speak to the kid. And I could sound as white as the next one, but he sounded like super Caucasian, and he looked at me like I was crazy. Like, why are you talking to me, black nigger? Don't talk to me. I'm like, what the fuck? Does it come to that? Dupree. It's like Arabs and Mexicans, they get shitted on by white people. They don't hate them. They hate black people. That's because of programming. At least in the Mexicans. They're programmed with white supremacy. Just like we are. That's why they promote the whiter ones at the top. If you go to Mexico, the white ones are at the top. The brown ones in the middle, or the tan ones in the middle. The ones with a little bit of Native American blood, but they got Spanish blood. And then the Indios at the bottom. The people that own the country are the Indians, by the way. They're the original owners. Before this group that is now called Mexicans, which there is no race called Mexicans. It's a country. And there's all different types of people down there. But when you go down there, you'll see the Europeans are still on top. If they're brown, what is it in the black community? Black stay back, brown stick around, yellow is mellow, something like that. That's this old black saying they used to have. Basically, yellow, you got to be in the big house. Black and brown, brown you can stick around, but the blacks, dark skin, was out in the fields. It's still there. It's within their race as well. Instead of worshiping their ancestors, they put them at the bottom. And they're trained to do that. Their women, they go for the lighter ones. If he has light skin and light eyes, he's at the top, just like in our race. You Hispanics, speak up. I know you're listening to me. You know it's true. You light-skinned ones that are close to white, you guys don't know, I try to tell you, you guys don't know how good you have within your culture. Then we get the black Latins who don't want to be black. Who is it? Chris Tucker? Isn't he Dominican? What we don't realize is this is set up this way. So we'll be at each other's throats. And not see who's pulling the strings. Both of our groups, we need to step back and take a look at what's really going on. Why is Chicago the way it is? Why did Cleveland fail? Well, one of the reasons we elect the wrong people in there to run the shit. Why do our black leaders sell us out and just line their own fucking pockets? We can trace that back to why did we end up in slavery? Why did our brother Africans, to fatten their pockets, sell us out? White folks, they fought like tooth and nail with each other, but when it came squadding up against other races, they came together as one. The guy that started the whole race thing was a white man, classified in the race, and he got them to come up under the white banner. But then we look at what Hitler did to other white people. He didn't care. You weren't Aryan. And neither was he. If you look at the DNA that came back of Hitler, he had African blood in his ass. Well, that's life. I've got things to do today. I've got to start looking at my new direction. I've been talking about this for a year now, and I've actually, where if Jovina's got to go in her pocket to pay our rent, then I've got to do something. So, enter her retirement, in other words, I've got to do something. Either I've got to market in this business or I've got to go to another one. And I'm all for building a new business myself. Because if I market this business, that means I got to deal with more fragile people. Deal with more of that alpha type guy. I do want to bring Arthur Gordon back on and have him host a webinar for us, though. So I'm going to call him today and see if we set up a webinar. Because he's one of the people that I highly respected when I first came online. And as I said, I created the name ZenMac from a phrase he said. And your Mac, you guys, when you're Macing to your women, your Mac should be like Zen, as you saw in my show yesterday. You guys, thank you guys for paying attention, actually learning something. So now you've seen a level you can get to. Now you know what you got to do. 25. The people with authority don't care about the community I live in, Detroit. They are closing the majority of the schools. They want us to be dumb criminals. Of course they do. Of course they do. You got to remember that people like Bill O'Reilly. Think of Bill O'Reilly types, only in business. These rich billionaires that actually do run the country, that do help them make decisions. We think this is a government of the people. It's not. It's not a government of the people. It has been a government of the people a long time. But then the people, the majority of the people, are like Bill O'Reilly. So if the majority of people like Bill O'Reilly and the people in business are like Bill O'Reilly types, who's that guy that owned that made those racial comments? The rich billionaire dude. You guys remember him? His name's on the tip of my tongue. He owned a basketball team. Yeah. The Jewish guy that changed his name. If they're like that, then you see why, and what do you say about his race? One of us is worth 100 blacks. So if they have that mentality, we're never going to catch a break until we pull together as one race. Now I'm talking to black folks now. We're never going to catch a goddamn thing till we learn to come together. And that's our life lesson. That's our race's life lesson. We got to come together under one banner, just like as Africans need to do. It's not I'm Yoruba and I'm Mali and all this shit. We're one group. Until we learn to do that, we will always be squashed. Because they did it. They came together under the banner of white. Until we learn to come together, we will suffer and keep suffering, keep having Detroits, keep having Chicagos. Because they move us into one area. Funding for the education in those areas is very bad. The opportunities to get out of those areas, very bad. They want you to sag. So when you go into a job interview, you look like you can't get hired. They want you to grow long dreads too. So you go sloughing your way in there with your swinging your dreads. Oh, you can look good to the girls with your dreads and sagging. But how easily are you getting hired? Jovina advised one guy to cut his dreads off. He had really thick. He's that type that had the Native Americans background. They like Snoop Dogg. They have really thick hair, long hair, and he had these long braids. And the man, I think he went and did it because she said, if you're going to go into business, you got to look more presentable. They tried to use this, and those white folks that did that, The business guy with the dreads and the suit on? No. White folks look at that and they think thoughts. You don't want to think of thoughts. We have to learn to work with them and assimilate, because they own all the businesses. So we got to learn to assimilate in. And the more different you look, the less chances you're going to have. I know I sound like an old black dude, but I've been around for a long time. I have white folks that have followed me for 20 years. The core people I kept in my training business, these people have been, one has been with me for 29 years. Then we go to 20 years, 17 years. The youngest, Tom, he's been with me he started back in the 90s. So do the math. So I've learned to, and these white folks give me money every month to provide a service for them. So I've learned to sell myself to that group, if I can say it like that. And if you can't sell yourself, thank you, Donald Sterling, yeah. If you can't sell yourself to that group, like look at David Condi. He's over there, and he's an African descent fellow over in the UK. He's having trouble selling himself. He's angry because he's 5'5". People pick on him. He sets that up, by the way. There are people 5'5" who don't get picked on, 5'5". But I think he said he's homeless now because he got pissed off or something. I told him to go back and work it out. He's having trouble with his job. Look at the brother that I was giving advice to that Alpha guy said, "You're not giving Alpha advice. We can't go in there act like the N-words at a job. We get fired. We don't look like them." Whatever, Night Shroud, he came back once, but remember I said I started putting out, I started pressuring him to get out of his mama's house, and that's when he dropped off. I recognize, some of you guys, you live with your mamas, and I'm not used to that. Like you, Aries, you were living with, I think, another fella, and remember how you felt when you got your own place? Remember when you woke up the next day, we talked about that? You actually went out and did it. And you created your own sideline business, and you're now supporting yourself. That's the type of people I want to work with, people like you. If someone is living with their mommies and they're not trying to get out of that situation, or they come with all these excuses and stuff like that, those aren't people that I can work with because they're still in the same situation. I'm going to talk about Jay. J10, I'm going to talk about you. Sorry. J10's mother lives with him. Although he pays the rent, she works. He's been in the same situation that he was 3 years ago. Same situation. Those kind of people, they don't change. Sorry, Jay, you're still in the same situation. And I don't want to talk badly about you, but you're still there. If brothers knew who Fleece Johnson is, they wouldn't sag. I don't know who he is. I don't sag. Aries right here. Why is it anytime Hollywood puts a black dude in multiracial cast, they always give him a fucked up, uncommon haircut? Because they want him to look the least sexually threatening to their star. Okay? It's all about the remember. Okay, we got to be honest. Hollywood is white folks. It's their thing. They own it. It's their shit. They make movies about them for themselves. They include us because there's a few blacks out there. But it's their shit. So they're entitled to do whatever they want with their own shit. Okay? When we get our own shit, we can do what we want. Until then, we just got to shut up. Sorry. They own Hollywood. It's their thing. They're the dominant race in this country, the majority race. They make videos, and I stopped watching a lot of shit stuff. I go to that movie-forums.co, and I look at some of the films, and I said, "This is more white folks, make movies about themselves." And I just get disinterested. I don't want to see some geek. The guy looks like a fucking geek. You know, be the cool guy and shit. So hold on. I stopped watching a lot of stuff for that reason. And it's what I choose to do. I accept that Hollywood has every right to make all these weird, strange, creepy, whatever, just dull movies about themselves to entertain them. It's to entertain them. It's not to entertain us. It's to entertain them. So until we get our own Hollywood, then we can make our own superhero movies. We can make our own TV shows, stuff like that. We had BT. We sold it to a white man. Again, until we learn to stick together, it's going to be that way. Sorry to be very bad news. You know, I was listening to a lot of people out there. I was listening to TBA. I was listening to Professor Black Truth. I still listen to him. I haven't listened to TBA in probably 6-7 months. Cynthia G. And I see this young fantasy stuff in a lot of young African Americans that they're blaming white folks for being white folks, basically. And I say, hey, they have every right to make all these movies about themselves. Until we get our own thing, shut the fuck up. Stop whining about it. But they're young. I've seen Professor Black Truth attack Rollins, the black guy that has, you know, he goes after whites. And I couldn't understand, why is he attacking this brother? And I didn't like that. Roland something or other, Roland Martin. Roland Martin does a good job. As an older black male, Roland Martin does a good job. I like Professor Black Truth's essays, and I like Roland Martin's TV show. But for Professor Black Truth to say Roland Martin is a coon and stuff like that, or whatever he's, you know, the bad stuff he says about him, I don't like. We got to stick together. That's another example of black on black. So he has to mature and grow up and stop attacking other blacks who are actually trying to do something. I see attacking the coons out there, but Roland Martin's not a coon. I mean, he went after Bill O'Reilly and did a very good job of it. It's like they want to be the only. He wants him and TBA to be the only source of black news. He wants people to stop listening to him. Don't do that. Instead, promote. Like you see me when I was helping like Boxer Mac. He wanted to become a dating coach. I was helping Jonathan become a dating coach. You know, I promoted them. Yesterday, you saw me promote this other guy, and I put his channel up. That's how we need to be: is promote each other, stick together. 25 Jai says, I was living with my mom to try to save money. Whatever, 25 Jai. I got my own place about 6 months ago. Good. It's nothing like the power you feel when you're truly independent. Thank you. You feel it. First, I thought you were trying to give me an excuse. If you've been there, you know, if you've heard me say, move out for your mom, and you've been there for like, you know, years and years and years, and you're still listening to me, that's what Jovina was talking about this morning to me. I put myself in a little bit of a hole because I haven't tried to market my business. I haven't tried to sell one product. I've been just kind of dull, burned out. I was waiting for a pie in the sky to come down, I guess, and go out in the desert. And I realized, I started thinking about that. Maybe during the wintertime, but I don't belong out in the desert. I have a lot to share with the world. And I'm not ready to go to bed yet. I have a lot to share. And it would be a really bad thing, I can't think of the word I want to say, but for me to retire and not share what I have. And that's what you got to learn to do is if you learn to get good at something, share that with other people. Anthony Robbins said that. Find a lot of people to share it with and get paid for it. Find a way to help others do what you do. Like Aries, he does rideshare or Uber. Sorry. He can write a report on how to make money at Uber if he got really good at it. How to manage your finance, how to manage your account, and sell to other Uber drivers. If you have information, sell it. If you want to help others get better, help them. I came here trying to help people get better at what I was good at, which was getting women and having them have them owned by you, which is actually a very seedy thing, to be honest with you. But it's a seedy business. Michael B. After high school, I had an opportunity to go out and promptly did. To get out and probably did. Me too. I was my first year of college when I moved in with my ex-wife, my girlfriend. And we made ends meet. We bought chicken backs. You guys don't, you're black, you know what chicken backs are. And potatoes. That's what we fed ourselves with. But those were the funnest times of my life, fellas. I had all these big, gigantic cars I bought for like $300. And she had 2 kids already. And then there was my son, Christopher. And we would go to the drive at $2 per carload. I love those days. I miss those days. Eating chicken backs and French fries. All the different ways to make things with potatoes. We were poor. I was making very much money. Yeah. I became an instant daddy, taking over 2 kids that weren't mine. Excuse me. Wow. Those were good days back then. Other good days were when I got into the game and I just knew I can call this girl to come over. I didn't want. If I need a meal, I always had a girl to bring me a meal. Or I'd go to my ex-wife's. Which I did a lot of that also. Call her up, hey, I'm hungry. And she'd feed me. I was paying for the food there, so might as well as. But having the power, having the feeling of being safe, if that makes sense. I felt safe. I felt top of my game, top of the world. And it gave me a certain level of confidence. You know, when you're at top of the world, you got any girl, you can come over and she'll lick your cum off the floor. I would never do something like that. In fact, I don't think I would ever have a girl do something like that or lick it off. I've seen that in porn, lick it off a glass. I would never, ever do that. Ever. But have a girl come over and take care of you. So you don't care, you don't need sex. You're not hungry for it. Because there are guys who are in relationships with women, one girl, and they're starving for sex. They're not getting it. And you saw me programming that girl from yesterday. I program my women to always have their door open to me. So when you have that, you feel like you can take on the world. You feel like you can do anything. And that's a wonderful feeling to have. That some of you guys will never ever get. Because you're afraid to step out there and do it. You don't listen when I tell you. 25 Jive, you're not in Toastmasters yet. You should have been in Toastmasters a long time ago because I said so. Then you ask me, what have people made it big from Toastmasters? Every public speaker that you see, politicians, make sure they go there to learn how to speak. Anybody that you see on TV, they've had Toastmaster-like experience. Also, let me give you some truth about Trump and Bill O'Reilly. There is a course that people in business and people who are anchors can take. Like Bill O'Reilly, they use the pen. Hanny used the pen. That is it's called NLP type stuff. NLP. Bill O'Reilly does this also. Trump does this. They went to the same school, the same place, to learn and improve their communication skills. That's why you have blacks who voted for Trump, because he learned this stuff. That's why you have blacks that watch Bill O'Reilly. He does the pen. And by the way, the pen projects, according to these people, authority. Like, I don't have a pen. If I had a pen, I'm going like this, and I flip it around. Notice how he does that pen? That's to project authority. The whole time he was lying about everything. But there are schools that, just like in public speaking, you can learn this stuff. Aries, can you give more thoughts on that video I posted about that short dude dating that female bodybuilder? Wow, you want me to go in on that guy? Okay, when I first looked at the video, don't mention the guy's name, okay? I don't want any internet beefs with other black dudes. Be right back. What do you see is wrong with my appearance right now? What do you guys see wrong with my appearance? From what you know of me as being a straightforward type of man. I know there's a delay time, but if you could get on your phones and type a little faster. Remember, people are going to be watching this, and they're going to see me just sitting there looking, So if you could, get on there, type what you see, what's wrong right now. And I'm asking you, Aries. Why do I look like a boy, Dominic? I look funny as shit with my hat like that. Thank you. That's the first thing I noticed. His hat was slightly twisted. Doesn't look right. No. People that come at you straight, I come at you guys straight up. They wear their hats straight. For some reason, black folks, we always got to, twist our brim a little bit. If I wore my hat like this, like you've seen some guys do, rappers can get away with it. Who's that short guy that does a rap? I can't remember his name. He wore his hat like this. So that's the first thing I saw with the guy on the video. And right away, I was turned off. And then he had his voice like this. He spoke like, he had that lisp, and then he spoke like this. So I already right away said this dude isn't a masculine man. Now the story of this fella that he's talking about, he's 5'5", and he was dating this bodybuilding bitch, and this bodybuilding bitch would come in and just he wouldn't tell him the whole story, but she beat his ass. But she was taller than him. He was dating a chick taller than him. He had that short man complex. He wanted to date this big bodybuilding chick on steroids that was having roid rages on him. And he dealt with this shit for a long time. That type of man will put up with that kind of shit from a woman. So the hat twisted sideways, the voice, and that right away said, okay, this is going to be interesting there, Aries. So I knew that this, the brother said, I've dated a lot of women. I've dated a lot of women. And dating and fucking are two different things, by the way, fellas. I've dated a lot of women. That means he paid for dates. That's nothing. You guys go down the streets, hey, I would like to take y'all to dinner. Do that right now. Go out there and ask 10 women, I'll take you to dinner. I'll bet you get like 3 or 4 dates. They'll go on to dinner with you. That's nothing. That's what PUAs do, basically. I don't want to bring PUAs up, but that's what they were doing when they were going to the clubs, and at the end of the club, they'll go, hey, high five, high five. Hey, take a photo with us. And they're doing those fake photos. So that right away said, okay, this guy, he pays for dates. He's trying to look like he's a player, but he dates. He's used the word dates. He didn't say I've fucked a lot of women. And I haven't fucked a lot of women. 137 is not a lot of women. There are guys who fucked way 3 times more than I have. Okay? But I learned to own these women. Now, he started talking about the relationship, and I knew right away this guy, and it was no surprise to me he said, I'm 5'5". Because he sounded like he was the type of guy that had that kind of personality that would tolerate this shit from the woman. I wouldn't date a chick on steroids. Because I've got the right kind of mind. I wouldn't date a chick that's using steroids, period. I wouldn't date a chick that's bigger than me. He's the type of guy that would date a chick that's bigger than him. And I know the love of, girls are all buffed out and got these big... No, thank you. I don't want a woman like that. That's bigger than me. That's some closet femininity there that's going on. He's not coming at me straight. His hat was barely twisted aside, but I saw it. He ain't coming at me straight. Now I'm not gonna. I could say more and go into that a little bit more, but I'm not going to, because I don't want no beefs. There, Aries. He goes, now I see what you're talking about. Good. He was out with a female that could kick his ass, and I'm sure he got his ass beat up a few times by her. Stronger than him. A real man's not gonna do that. And he talked about he hung out with these professional ball players. He's like a little guy amongst those guys, sniggling up to him. That to me says less than a man. Yes, I agree. Women like that are gross. There one time I actually admired that look because I was into training bodybuilders. You saw my one girlfriend I had, she was actually a girlfriend. We dated 8 years before I told her that I didn't want to see her anymore. And really, I was just mad because I lost my competition. She came in second. I felt like a fool. And then she started taking this other guy's aerobics class as well. I was just jealous. It was my ego shit. Because she was actually a good girl. She did a lot of work for me. And she just recently, with the Trump shit, before Trump, I started talking, complaining about him, left my Facebook. But she got married to this white guy, which is what she needed to do. I told her you needed to get married to a white man. Dominic, right here. The crazy thing is that he said that he'd do it all over again if he could. Yeah. He's that type of man. He's one of those with that I'm 5'5" tragedy thing. Props him for taking women on dates and actually getting women. Including a flies started coming in. A bodybuilding chick. You see mine. I'm not gonna date a steroid bitch. Someone said they like bodybuilding chicks with big boobs. I explained to them those are implants. When they drop body fat, titties are fat and mammary glands. That's it. What makes them big is fat. Okay? If they have big titties, that means they have a lot of fat in their titties. The girl holding the sign, even though she was petite, she barely weighed over 100 pounds, she had big titties. For some reason, her body type said put fat in the titties. Stored in the titties. I just found a photo of her in her bedroom. She's bending over for me with a black top on, a dress, showing how big her chest is. She actually had really short hair when she first came out here, but I had her grow her hair long. And in this photo, she's holding my clothes because we were doing a photo shoot at her house. Some of the photos you've seen me, like sit on top of the world. She's a graphic artist. Can I cut that off? I want to show you guys how petite she is. She barely weighed anything. So it behooved me when people like Jonathan came back and said, they try to claim that I faked that sign shit. Even though I showed Jonathan the emails I had sent to her saying, okay, do this, and put this dress on. When you can send a female to have sex with someone else and send you the photos, that's power. And that's what I did before she moved out here. I did sex with her one time in Reno, and then she moved back. She went back to her hometown, and I didn't expect her to move out here. I wasn't expecting anything to come of it. So I said, okay, test her out. Let's go find a black guy with a big dick and have sex with her. I actually sent this woman to do that, and she did it. I've got the photos right here, but I can't show you. Maybe I'll put some of these. No, I don't want to disrespect her. In fact, now that I'm getting older in life, it's kind of bugging. Kind of bugs a little bit. Things I've done. But having power over women, and again, this is the woman that's holding the sign saying property of player supreme. I told you she was in a black top. You see how large her chest is. See how small boned she is. And then I had her grow her hair long. So if anybody ever brings that shit up, refer them back to this damn video. How do you put game in a chick to prevent having to actually go out with her? That's my mansion problem. I can't get it right. How do I answer this? I can't seem to get it right. If you go back to yesterday's video and watch what I was teaching Remo, you see how I did it with just some email words. Because you're dealing with women over online. Go back and watch that yesterday. I got the sex without having to go on a date. No, that's not true. I met her for a drink. I met her on a Saturday. I met her Monday night. She paid for my drinks, though. That's something I say about that. And then we were having sex. Within 7.5 days, I'd copped her. If she really likes you, she'll fuck you on the first night, Remo. Remo seems to meet these women that are iffy about him, though. But go back and watch yesterday's video and follow through that where I was doing my teaching section. You'll get an idea of what you need to start doing to your women. You got to start touching them a certain way mentally. Let me go close my front door. There's a bug in my house. Someone said this house is an old ass house. It is, but it's a house, and Jovina's family owns it. I pay $650 a month here. I've been paying it for 12 years now. It's a duplex. Her brother lives. Her dad sold it to her brother. He lives on the other side. I've shown you the front yard, and he's Portuguese. They take care of the lawn. He does the lawn every week. I've got a backyard. I've got a patio, or I got a side of my house where I do my barbecuing. But I told Jovina I've been here for 12 years, 13 years, and I'm sick of the place. Jovina came up on me about a week ago. That's how I was sleeping for the last month. She got my camera and took a photo of me sleeping. You notice my front door is propped open with my massager. That's to let fresh air in. That's how I've been sleeping for the last 3 days. This is actually a rocking chair with a lazy boy. I could prop my legs up. I just have to have my legs down. That's me waking up, her taking a photograph of me. It is actually a nice home, and it's comfortable for just the two of us. She decorates it with her artwork. There's her mother. There's her niece and nephew. I told you that she had her niece and nephew are black. There they are. Oh, her gay son. You know, it's amazing. You can look at a photo and tell when someone's gay. Have you guys ever noticed that? You just look at the photo and tell that he's gay. I don't mean to make fun of him because he's a sweet kid. Remo. There's only been one chick I've met that would have fucked, and she gave me a blowjob and felt ashamed afterwards. Then you should have actually coached her and told her what a good girl she was. You allowed her to feel ashamed. Not every chick will fuck on the first night. Not every chick will, but the majority of chicks I ran into did. Remo, I connect with a lot of women with that good girl mentality. I connect with a lot of freaks. Chris James, but I would invite them over on the second meetup. Remo, where are you meeting them? And he said online dating. You know what? Getting back to online dating, I've never boned a chick on the first meetup. Or not the first meetup, but on the first time we start emailing each other. It never happened that way. I've never emailed a chick, hey, how you doing? Want to come over? It's never happened. On the first meetup, yes. Go back to Judy. I can't mention her name. She wanted to sue me because she found some of my emails online. Anyways, this one girl. On the first time we met at Starbucks. Then we went back to my place and fucked. And I did that again and again. But it was a period of time before we actually met. See, I spent more time developing them. If you go back to yesterday's video, you'll see this kind of stuff that I would email chicks or I would do IM conversation with them on. You've seen what I do to women. That's what you've got to start doing. So when they finally meet you, they're already enthralled with you. Fuck. This is my another dating photo. Women will fuck on the first meetup. They will fuck on the first meetup. Mulattoes, white chicks, if you do them right, Girls will also send you. I got to do something real quick. Girls also send you nudes of themselves. By the time I met them, I've already got them send me. That right there is a strawberry and a girl and a mulatto's pussy. You can't see it, and I'm not going to show it to you, but you see the red? That's a strawberry. She's a mulatto. No offense, Chris James. Using the word mulatto. This, see that right there? That's a girl, her back, she's in a thong, she's wearing this sheer thing. This one here, she's sending some photos of herself. Actually, she dropped these off, hard copies. She did some nudes, professional nudes. Now, the girl that I was talking about, Remo. This is her chest. So you're doing internet conversation. I did internet mind fucking. You're doing conversation, getting conversational results. I did internet mind fucking. I got my results. Before I even met them, I got stuff like this out of them. So when I finally met them, let's see if I can show something. When I finally met them, I had big ass titties up in my face. I had big ass titties up in my face. Let's see a little hand. Big ass titties in my face. So you do internet conversation stuff. I did my internet stuff my way. Am I making sense? I got photos like this. This is her again. I'm not showing anything nasty, so no troll can come through and try to turn me in. There's nothing nasty here. I'm real careful. So what are you getting out of your women there, Remo, before you meet them? And I'm not going to show her face. This is one that I actually regret. People ask me, you ever have regrets? Yeah. There's quite a few women that I have had regrets over. Wish things had went differently. So I always had women send me, send me nude stuff all the time. That's like, then I know I've got to somewhere. How do I do it? Animal color water game, blah, blah, blah. This is a site from Love is Colorblind, the women that I was messing with on there. I'd have them send me photos. And hold on, let me make this smaller. Let's see. There are a lot of nice girls you can meet online, fellas. There's a lot of nice women. That girl's a freak. I started going for older women. Built like that. But you don't have to stay stuck on stupid with internet stuff, you know? Chris says do a better job screening them. No, I say do a better job of mind fucking them. Also, screening should be automatic. You should always be screening your chicks. Unbreakable. When I meet a chick from online, I get into my sexual state. I know a girl knows what's up if she's on Tinder, yeah. I come at them like a lion stalking in the bush. When she opens up, I pounce. Cool. Bet they felt soft, Leon says. Evan X, it's very simple. Women won't fuck if you don't have enough value placed on yourself. What time is it? Remo, I get a connection from them through conversation. Then I get the number and move on from there. See, I spend more time with my girls. I was used to it. This is what I did back then. What you're telling me is that I have to change the way I speak to women. You've been needing to change the way you speak to women. Remember your temper issues that you used to have? Yeah, you got to change the way you speak to them. You got to develop them more. You got to make sure. See, what I did was before I didn't ever ask for the phone number. I want them to give the phone number to me, Remo. I want them to throw the number at me. And let me pull back. So if you go back and watch what you saw me, how I was talking to girls, you'll see how I talk to girls. A lot of guys think it can't be done. You can't talk to girls like that this day. Yeah, you can. Remember, I still have a PUF account. And you guys see me engage women a few times. Which, as I said, I feel bad for them because I don't tend to continue this. And right now, I have 9 chicks that have sent me emails. What the fuck are tokens? But I got 9 chicks that have sent me emails. You've seen it up to 35. Who's this? You know what? It's a shame I can't trust the internet enough to, click on someone's profile and that's my kind of sister. Not sure about the tattoo on her tit. That says a lot. She lives in Hayward. Too young though. She's only 28. I gotta get rid of this goddamn profile, fellas, because there's. Well, I don't tend to meet any girls out there anyway. I want to keep it to show you guys proof that you can do it. If you build the fucking profile right, you have the right tools, you can do it. Why am I still doing this shit? White girl with some booty. I like that she's presenting it the right way. She knows that it's about the booty. So she's presenting the booty. She's an officer and an actress. That's the worst. Police officer and an actress, huh? I've dated one police officer once, never again. Did I say date? Okay. I like it when white girls can present the booty. Look at all that booty she got sticking out back there. She knows how to present it. Kapow! She knows what's up. But I don't like it when the sisters overdo it. All you get is the ass shot. But let's get back to Remo's problem. You're telling me two different things, Supreme. No, I'm saying, look at what I did yesterday. Okay, I'm saying something simple. Go back, watch what I did yesterday. Okay, and see what I did. Try to copy that. If you think I'm telling you two different things, what two different things am I telling you that you believe that I'm telling you? So we can get through the confusion. Help me to help you, Remo. And Jovina was warning me not to do these long shows anymore. You told me I took too long to get the number. Now it's fast, so I should start getting deeper in conversation. Let them give me their numbers. I looked at what you were doing at the time back then, and I analyzed what you were doing, and that's why I said that. But look what results you're getting. So how about we change what you're doing so you get better results, or the type of results I got. So let's slow it down a little bit. Spend more time talking to them online, more time getting into their mind, into their head. Because you're doing the chatty thing as Remo would do chatty things. You and I would do chatty things differently. You do it Remo style, and it's getting this result. So let's change what you're doing, and let's slow down. Let's spend a little more time and develop them more so that you can just suggest, hey, why don't you come by my place? Now, recognize that women, they do have other guys they're talking to. That's why you want to have the best conversation. You want the conversation that's interesting. Go back and listen to Prolific's conversation that he posted. That's good conversation for women. That's how you want your conversation. Offline, online, in bed, always to be, that style of conversation that's all up in her head. The Unbreakable. These girls online are down to fuck. You can't be creepy like all the other thirsty dudes on there. Keep it cool and have the mindset that sex with you is natural. I can agree with that. These girls online are down to fuck. He's repeating himself. Okay, so I got to remember what I told Remo also back then. I don't remember what I said to him. But obviously I told him, you're taking too long to get the number, because he was doing the dating thing. And now that's not working. So, as I said, let's change. That didn't work. Let's change. Let's find something that's going to work for you. So I should start getting deeper in conversation. Yes. Yes. Letting them give me their numbers. That's what I said I did. I'm going to suggest to you that I want you to get in their head before you even go for the number, if you're going to go for the number. Okay? I like the women threw the number at me because that showed they're desperate to meet me. But you're a different person. I had other pussy on my team. I could afford to wait. To me, online stuff was just play. I was just playing. But you're in a different situation. So I'm not going to say wait for throw the number at you. Okay? Because you got to start getting your dick wet. So what I want you to do is, remember, number precedes date. So wait a little bit longer before you go on your dating thing or you try to pull them over. Develop their minds more. And again, I refer you back to Prolific's conversations on the forum. See how he was talking to this girl. He was educating this girl. He was developing her mind. That's what I'm talking about. Also, go back and again look at the video I did yesterday, how I talk to girls online. Okay, I downloaded your show yesterday. I'll continue listening. Okay, good. When you see me go into the old stuff that I had, that's when you start paying attention. Look how long it took to get this girl hooked on me. I need to give you the whole package, though. I made it a PDF on my other computer, so I'll put it up on the forum. My email mind seduction, the whole package. So you see from start to finish. I start off with that whole case study with just me. Had met her at the club. And let's see, where is that whole thing at? And I've done this before. I've talked about it. I start with my first message to her because I was trying to get a girl's phone number and get her email. And I enjoyed the email stuff because I had a little tiny Metro phone, flip phone, and little tiny numbers. That's why I was against texting back then. Fuck. So this is what I'm going to put on the forum. It started with my post. And I told the fellas back then, okay, I think I mentioned on another post about having laryngitis this weekend, and I still caught a couple of hoes. Saturday night, I met a good one. To teach about getting into their minds, I'm going to start letting you players read our email contacts. And I said to her, it was a pleasure. You remember that? It was a pleasure meeting, dancing with you. So you're going to get the whole entire package. It's, as I said, it's on my other laptop. I'll put it up. I'm not doing a show today. I was going to put up my conversation with Jovina, but that might hurt too many feelings up there. But I'm not going to do a podcast show. I'm going to focus on this. I think a lot of guys, you guys are afraid to talk to girls a certain way online. Is that true? Some of you guys are afraid to speak to women a certain way. Chris James says your conversation has to be more seductive, be bold. Is anybody actually doing it the way I did it? Anybody doing it the way they saw me do it? One person? Anybody? Okay, Remo. So I have your mind selected book. Cool. You're the one that did my confidence program and didn't do the program. You read the stuff that was on the blog and didn't do the video lessons, as I recall. I'll never forget that, Remo. Dunbreaker. No, I tend to be straightforward with girls online. I ask them what their availability is. I'm looking for people that actually do it my way. I like that straightforwardness. That's cool. That if it works for you, they're Dunbreakable. So nobody. Wow. Question. Hold up, Chris and everybody else. Question. Chris, hold up. I know there's a lag on here. I have a question. Remo, hold up. Remo says that's not true. What's not true, Remo? But if I've shown you guys the way I did something, would it make more sense if you want to get the results I got? So if I'm back engineering this, you don't want to get the results that I've gotten. And that's what I'm dealing with. How many guys just want to bang chicks? Oh, I asked you to raise your hand, man. I said say something if you do. Dunbreakable, I start mind fucking them when we talk on the phone or when I get them in bed. Good. Dunbreakable. Okay. I asked you guys to raise your hand or say something if you did, my style. Remo, can we make the style, the way I talk to girls, a permanent part of your personality so you don't have to flip a switch and transition into it also for the future to make that improvement? I think it'd be an improvement for you if you just start doing it naturally. Because you want it to be natural. If it doesn't feel natural to you, you'll be uncomfortable with you and you're not going to get it right. You'll say the wrong thing. You might get angry at a chick and flare off. Remo has a no-nonsense approach to everything. He's no-nonsense. And that's what I was trying to get him away from. LPT, raising hand. If what? Sorry, I missed that. Basically, if you use my style of communicating with girls. I don't know if you've been paying attention. This is the first time I've seen your initials come up here. So we're talking about something right now there, LP. There are 16 people actually watching this at 10:44 in the morning. Yes, I am in the West Coast. Exactly. You must be on the East Coast or something. Not sure what that's to do with anything, but yeah, I'm on the West Coast. The Unbreakable, I can admit I still have work to do. The weakness of my game is getting money out of these girls. I ultimately want to reach the Mac level. Oh, it's 1:45 out there. Gotcha. Okay, it's 1:45 and I've got 15 people now watching. And it's going on 2 hours. I'm going to have to end this talk. Remo, I've talked to you on the forum. I'll upload that style and go back and listen to me talk about it. Because I do better when I talk about what I did. The video should be... I'll put the video on the forum for the rest of the fellows as well. I'll put the whole entire thing in the post so you can download the PDFs. Also in there would be that one of me training that one chick to call me daddy. Now, I don't recommend you guys do all that. You don't need all that kind of stuff. Okay, Remo says, I will like I'm doing with the chick who calls her alter personality Broomhilda. That's some weird shit, man. I don't know how you attract all these weird bitches, but hey, they're out there. That's like a witch, Broomhilda. Chris says, I get all women to call me daddy. Don't you get tired of that after a while? I did. And that's because I guess it just wasn't in me. It's got to be in you, not on you. And I tried to have that one on me and it didn't work. I'm just not that type of person. There's a site called Taken in Hand. And I'm more of that. I'm more the old-fashioned, man does the leading. I don't want to have girls groveling at my knees. Sorry, fellas. I enjoyed that. It was fun, but I don't want to live that way. I don't want to live a BDSM lifestyle. I don't want to spank ass, whip ass, get all these gadgets to string people up and do weird sexual shit. I just didn't. It's not me. I'm more of a normal type of guy. Yeah. I don't have threesomes, foursomes, moresomes. Fun when I did it, but I was younger. I'm older. Don't want to live my life like that. When Jovina called me daddy, it just sounded weird. Never did again. She felt weird. I felt it just wasn't for me. So I've got shit to do, fellas. I've been on this call for 2 hours. Enjoyed talking to you. And I'm out.